Welcome back to Two Girls One Pod. I'm Yvie. I'm still chatting with Melinda Willis. Thank you for coming back to listen to part 2. Here it is. So you are one of the success stories from MAFS. There is very few of you how many seasons? Which season was yours?
Ours was 10.
10,
They're
okay.
up to season 11.
So out of 10 seasons, there's not a lot of success stories, which I think is the design of the show, honestly.
Yeah.
But you defied the show by design, by finding someone that you fell madly in love with. But he's never told you he loves you. Is that true?
He has now.
He has. Okay, good.
But,
yes.
But it was in a love letter.
Okay, that's the way he could do it.
Yeah.
So he finds it really hard to say.
Really, really hard.
Yeah, okay. And you're accepting of that?
I wasn't at first, and I felt, we've had a lot of hiccups since the show's aired, and we've done, real life together. But one of them was that it was like, I am a words person, and if something is scary to say, I want to be worth it to you to say that, you know?
Yes.
And if you don't say this usually to people, like I want to be the one that, is that special person. So it's like we went through so much together, and it's like, I know you love me. I can feel it.
Yeah.
Do you know, I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
Like, so why won't you just tell me? And he used to say these things like, I think he was just always fearful of kind of commitment and a forever thing. It's like, you don't fix what's not broken, in a way of if I go say that, many people before have said that, and then next minute their marriage is, crumbled. Someone's cheating, someone's this, but yet people just throw that word around all the time. So I understood it from the way of, okay, to you it doesn't feel like it means that much because people go say it and chuck it around, and then they really can't love each other if they're, being unfaithful and this and this and this. But I was like, at the end of the day, we were on the Gold Coast and we were away for the weekend together, and I just remember kind of having this big blow up moment in my mind of maybe he doesn't love me. Like, what is going on? And I started to question, maybe I'm not good enough.
Yeah,
maybe he doesn't.
Yes. So
maybe he doesn't like me. Like, I started to spiral.
The insecurities came.
Yeah. And then I went straight up to him because you know me, I'm just like that girl that's like, you know what, I need this from you. This is what I want from you. A lot of people are scared to do that, and I think that's the way, males work. They want to know, like, just tell us what you want. Yeah. So I thought, right, I've been taught that. I'm going to tell you what I want. I want you, if you love me, to tell me that you love me. And he still couldn't do it. And then, I was crying and I was really upset, and I was like, it means you don't then. And he was like, I show you in other ways. He couldn't say I do. He was saying, I show you in other ways, Mel. And then he would come up and give me a hug and say, I have love for you. And he just couldn't say it, and I knew it was his way. So I had to tell myself, to me, is this settling for something that isn't going to fulfill what I need at this time frame? Or can I put myself in someone else's shoes and change my mind and the way I look at things to go, he does, which should be enough. He's just not saying it in the way you want to receive it. Yeah. It's just that love language barrier.
Love language.
Yeah. So it got to that point where obviously I was super upset. I've just, dropped all my guards again and gone, I'm going to accept it in the way that you want to give that to me, which is at that moment is just implying it or through actions. But I don't know if I can be okay with that forever, because I don't just need you to tell me you love me. I need to hear it every day. Yeah. Right? I need to be reminded every day. Tell me you love me. Tell me I'm beautiful. Tell me I'm the smartest in the room. Tell me all the things you love about me constantly before we go to bed. So I went from such a needy type of person in that way of words to just, okay, he's not a words person. I'm never going to get them. But then as time went on, we had, it was kind of after the Logies, we had this, that really broke us, all the Logie stuff. It just really took us back into MAFS and all the drama. Yeah. And of course, I'm always the centre of it, and Layton doesn't like the drama. So it just rocks us, and it takes us off the course of focusing on what's important, and it just takes us back to, that dramatic place. So, yeah, he's wrote me emails and wrote me love letters to try and say, like, there's so many things I want to say to you that I can't. And there's so many things that we'll fight about, and I want to, you know, tell you that you're doing good at this or this. And then he puts it in this email or this love letter. And, you know, then at the end of it, he says, like, I do love you. I've loved you for a long time, you know, blah, 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 blah. I know, don't.
Oh, I know. It's lovely. It's just lovely.
Yeah.
And he said it the way he can say it. He said it.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you've got to be like, you've got to be okay with it. So, you know.
Yeah. And you did. You sorted it in your own, you know, because of our programming, and, you've got to say it. This is the way your life is. You've got to meet someone, and then you get to this point and they say they like you, and then they get to this point and they start to say they love you. And if you're not saying it, then, oh my God, this is not working.
It's this
is a failure.
Thing.
Programming.
And do you know what? I kept seeing all the comments and I kept seeing all the messages being like, has he told you he loves you? And I started to be like, how embarrassing.
Yeah.
You know, maybe
you were
he doesn't.
internalizing it.
Am I being delusional? All these people think that it's not normal.
Yeah.
And then.
Yeah, because we're programmed to be told, but you must say it.
Yeah, and you must ask someone to be their girlfriend. You must say that you love them. You must do this grand gesture proposal. Or that's even a competition, right?
Yes.
Everything is judged. So I guess it's hard, you know, to be in a relationship in that way where you've got to do all these expected things, but it's just not comfortable for you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, relationships are bloody hard work.
Yeah.
And sometimes you've just got to put yourself in someone else's shoes and then realize, like, they are giving you what you want. It's just not in the way that you want to give it. So does this person mean enough to you that you can change your mindset on something?
And you just said earlier, like, you know, who you were 10 years ago, you know, people have gone through a lot of stuff, and we have to keep remembering that Layton has gone through his own stuff, and that has brought him to a point where he can't say it. The words just are something that he may one day, but he may never be able to say it, and can only write it, and writes it every single day, or whatever it suits him, but he's turning up every single day, because that's what love is, being there for another person. It isn't about what you say. Love language is all about how you show your love, and his is not in words. It's not in verbal, even though he's a great talker. Those particular words are something that is a thorn in his side. That's something that's happened to him that he just is not something that he can go, and would be so inauthentic. Is that the word, inauthentic?
Yeah, it is, I guess.
Who wants that?
Yeah, if it's not feeling comfortable, it's like you don't force someone to it, but then, you know, they've got to, if they can't bring themselves to do that and it is affecting the other person, it's like, okay, how do we meet in the middle here? How does our love languages collide? Because right now they're so unaligned. Yeah. And then he has to use his words to not say that, but use his words to describe how he's saying that to me. Yeah. Which he would say, Mel, when I do this for you, when I do this for you, that's showing love for you. Yes. That's how I feel about you. And then I can be appreciative when he writes a letter, when he takes the time to, you know, take me on a surprise picnic and do this and do this. I see that and go, I feel loved. I don't need to hear it. I'm hearing it. I'm hearing it through actions.
That's right. Exactly right. You're getting the love, and the love is what it is at the end of the day. Yeah. I mean, imagine making someone say they love you and you get it and you're like, oh, that was so difficult for you to say that. Now I feel like an asshole.
You feel like it's not real as well. It's like, wait, if he had said it in that moment, I probably would have gone, well, did you just say it because I made you?
Exactly.
And then I'm going to bed going, I don't want it like that. It's difficult, isn't it?
It is. And that's why life is a journey, obviously, and you're learning everything every day. But relationships, you've got two people who are complete individuals, and we must constantly remember that you've got two complete individuals who are trying to coexist in a codependent situation, and that's I feel like
at our age as well, right? Like I was 33, he's 36. Like we've done a lot of growing. Mm-hmm. We're always going to grow. I get that, but our main foundations are grown. Yeah. So how do you go, well, I need this from you, or you need this from me, and I want to give it to you? But I'm really already cemented with how I am and how I deliver.
Yes.
So it's not much to change in that aspect. You're going to like take it or you're going to leave it. And it's coming together to go, okay, we're really stubborn and that's really hard to do. But we're just going to like break that cement down just a little so there's some cracks to mesh.
There's cracks and you can do cracks. And that's the good thing about cement. It's crackable. Yeah. And so is people that we, you know, no matter how much you think you're stuck in a way, we, you know, 10 years down the track, let's have another chat and let's see what the differences in both of you are. But you is more who I'm interested in because I love women so much. And I think that you are such a fabulous woman, and I really do appreciate you coming to chat to me today. I really do want to say thank you for giving me your time and telling me, you know, the things about you that I find absolutely fascinating. So thank you so much for being here with us. I know that everyone that's listening has just enjoyed this so much. I love how people say they don't either. Okay, these are the two things that I find hilarious about people. The ones that say, I don't watch TV.
Yeah.
It's like, that is nothing. That is not a hill you want to die on. What's wrong with watching? TV is awesome. Even if it's on a screen, it's through a streaming service. We all do it. Don't tell me you don't watch TV. Don't tell me you don't watch MAFS. Everyone watches MAFS. I love that. I don't watch MAFS. Oh, but how was Layton and Melinda last night? It was like, oh, you were watching all of it, big boy. You were watching all of it. So no more of that. Be proud of the trash that is reality TV. I love it.
I do love it as well. And I can't wait for season 11.
Oh, so
do you know, I've got my popcorn ready and I'm like, bring me the drama.
Just quickly.
Bring me the love stories, bring me the drama.
Who did you watch your season with?
Oh, well, we tried to watch it together, Layton and I, but we got taken back into the fights and then we didn't talk for a few weeks and all of that. So that wasn't a good thing. Yeah. So we didn't watch it together in the end. I watched it with my family. Like my dad loves it. He always said, I love it, but I never want to see my daughter on it. But he watched it. He was my biggest supporter.
Yeah, he would have been really proud of you.
Yeah, he was.
And he should have been. I would have been if I was your parent.
So I watched it with girlfriends. I watched it with mum. I watched it with dad. For our wedding, we hired out this little mini cinema to watch it. And obviously it was the wedding. So the room was silent at the end. We all just looked at each other and went, don't check your phone. I went home and checked my phone.
You have got to read Alicia's book. That is almost identical to the first episode of Bachelor that she did with Honey Badger. Good. And she was just by the end, everyone was just silent and no, it wasn't that episode. It was the episode where the three of she got by association called a mean girl. And she said it was just such a deflated balloon by the end of the episode.
Your heart just hits the floor and you're just I don't even want to bend down and pick that up. No. I'm just going to leave that down there for a few months.
And then she's in bed and she's on the phone. She's just for the next 4 hours going through the forums and the comments. And
So Channel 9, the day after the wedding, right, I'm still going through all that thinking my world's over. And the very next day, the dinner party plays and it's, me being introduced to Harrison. And it was kind of that takedown moment. And then all of a sudden, I was at that stage, not in my phone, and I had all my brothers and everyone just sending me all these memes of all these things being queen behavior and all this. So when all that happened, it still didn't lift me up because I was still in the previous 24 hours. But Channel 9 called me and they were like, we need to get you in to the Today Show tomorrow because we've never seen someone go from villain to hero in that time frame. Oh. That was whiplash. You've gone from Australia's biggest villain to Australia's biggest hero overnight.
Wow.
So that's when it was all
rare, isn't it? And did you go on the Today Show? And
I did, but I was it's almost like they were, thought I would feel celebrated, but I was still down really because singed. I was really singed.
Yeah.
I was these people think this type of way of me. It's not even what they're saying.
Yeah.
It's just that I'm not this person and now forever these people. And then I started thinking, what if these people only watch one episode? I have clients. What if they only watch one episode? I don't care about this redemption. this happen?
Yeah, what if they're like, that has made them turn off the TV forever?
Yeah.
The things that our mind has, it's frustrating because of what we can do to ourselves. I want to get into the Logies stuff. I want to read out some of the things that So Dramatic had sent to them, and then I want to tell you about what I think about it before I ask you for your reply on it. I got opinions. So Claire Normanis, Claire ended up with Jesse, and she cheated on Jesse, and she is a Melbourne girl, had on her stories. She actually did a story that there was she said, weird vibes, tense energy from a couple of the gals. And I mean, Melinda didn't even say hi. She did this story that was obviously public. And I'm thinking, you've had a few wines. You've got a bit of confidence here, and, you're throwing someone under the bus. That's what I got from that story being done in real time. And then she kind of said, I recall Melinda during the show saying that I can't associate with you because you're going to get the villain edit, which I was just like, oh. And then she said, I'm all about women empowering women. So, she can just be her, if you're going to do it, like, whatever, I'm okay with that. I'm like, which really pisses me off when someone says, I'm okay with that, when they're not clearly okay with that at all. And then you reshared it and you wrote, I'd like to talk on this because I am beyond being bullied and harassed by these mean girls. The treatment I have received during and post-experiment is not okay. And then one of the contestants, who I don't know who it is, but you probably do, wrote to Megan on So Dramatic and said, so Melinda didn't say hi to the group, didn't want to be in the photos. She left early and only spoke to Tani and Janelle all night. I think Melinda is reaching and can't take criticism at all. Any attempt to question her during and after the experiment is met with defensiveness and a full takedown, blah, 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 blah. Then another contestant wrote, I don't know what the beef is or why it started. For some reason, the contestants have now been dragged into it and are being ignored by Melinda by association. Melinda never made eye contact with any of us, blah, blah, blah. Like, that was another, she came to dinner. She sat at the head of it was really like nitpicky. Like, she sat at the table, she wore a dress and she told everyone that she wore it because she didn't want us anywhere near her. There was then another cast member who said this: Mel was completely ignored by the entire cast. She walked in last and no one went over to speak to her except Tani. They all turned their backs to her when she walked in. It was extremely awkward and cruel. Melinda was also cut out of Claire's group photo that everyone then happily reposted. Mel is definitely not the one who snubbed anyone. Mel was singled out by the entire group. It was ganging up, intimidating and bullying vibes. They also tried to recruit Layton, which is such a tactic. But this is what I want to say, because I don't know what any of that is truthful or not, okay? But that was 3 kind of versions from people who were there. And the fact that they don't put their name to it, it's like, put your name to it, please. Like, if you're going to say something, use your voice and say something. This is what I want to say. If any of it is true, I've been to the Logies and I know it is not a joyous day to be there and just be grateful and accepting. It's a fucking stress of a day. It's a long day. And the way I was looking at, I guess, that first description of you, not going to the after party, not staying till the end of mains and everything, all I could think of was, what if she was like having a really bad period, or if she'd just had a huge fight with a good friend or her partner, or what if she just had some bad news? Like, I know what it's like to turn up to something late. I'm never a late person, but if I am, it's for good reason, and it's normally because I'm not having a good time in my life, like something is going on. And the fact that that's what I looked at straight away, I thought she's not a mean person. So there's no way she's going to go to the Logies and act like a brat if there's not something really going on. So that's what I want to ask you. What was going on? What's the truth?
So I think in one of those things, one of the, let's say, girls, one of the girls had obviously said that, Mel rocked up late. She didn't look at anyone. She didn't even apologize for being late and making us all wait an hour. So that's not entirely true. Mm-hmm. It was never an hour wait. That's like the dramatizing of it starts with that. Layton had left his bow tie at home and it completed the look and it was Logies. So it was a big event. And we were I was getting my makeup done at the time and we were trying to think of ways how he could get his bow tie. He lived too far away. He would miss the start. Right. We were trying to call the shop nearby, but they wouldn't Uber it to us. We didn't have time to go get it. My makeup lady was then trying to call around and help. You know, Layton was getting quite like a little bit like stressed over it all. So I stopped my makeup and calmed Layton. I tried to call people for him, give him ideas, and I was doing all of that. There was no fight or anything like that, right? Okay. It was just one person stressed, the other partner stepping in to reassure. So obviously when you go to the Logies, as you know, most of the girls get like a beautiful dress and jewelry and this. A lot of it's sponsored. A lot of it is, you know, collaborated. So I had some, like, I think my dress was like worth $12,000. So I had Swarovski crystals and like I had a lot of expensive things that people had gone out their way to give me. So I wanted to make sure I had the time to get pictures with those and videos. I didn't. Mm-hmm. I only got one really, really quick one as we ran off. And I made that little sacrifice there to go, well, I don't want my partner to feel a type of way. Mm-hmm. You know, I can deal with this and I'll look after to him. So that was all going on. And it's really disheartening to then see also other things being sent in saying that, you know, I was being this horrible person and, you know, to my partner. And like, so they really started to scoop low. I don't know if you've seen all those, but they came in after it all. Yeah. So I thought, wow, if you guys were a fly on the wall, you know, and why is it always that you jump to, oh, the female must have been being nasty to him. Like, oh, if she didn't get a photo with her dress, what a diva, this and that. But I never even said one little hint of anything upsetting me. I just kept it all in for him. Mm-hmm. So we were late because of Layton, but of course you're late because of the girl getting ready. Yes. And we came and it was, you know, and Layton knows all this and he even told So Dramatic, you know. So it was Layton that was stressed, you know. But yeah, it was me and I must have been, you know, attacking and carrying on and being this diva. So when I've rocked up, I'm then continuing on being in this mood, one of them said. And then when I've walked in, I mean, I've gone and looked at all the footage from the Logies that I could find and I'm super happy and I'm super smiley and I'm acknowledging everyone, do you know? But to paint this image of me to the public that I've walked in, I'm just so high and mighty. I'm just this nasty person. I think I'm above everyone. I won't even look at you. I'm just going to pretend you're not there. It's just I don't have a bone of that in my body. I grew up with that. I grew up with like being that person that was bullied, that always walked in the room like that. So I just don't have, you know, a mean thing in my body like that. But it kind of, when you walk in and there has been a little bit of stress. You know you're late. You know that you're not in this clique that's going on. Right. Do you know? Like there was a clique of girls and they were best friends. Right. And I'm not included in that. And I never was even during filming. Why? Do you know me?
Do you know why?
Yeah, well, this is the thing, right? Like Ever side, because we were actually like best friends during filming. And then after, and then obviously like whatever's happened, there's this downfall and she's connected to these girls, you know. Right, and they're all quite, you know, they're quite like powerful girls, you know, strong. Which is a good thing. That's what our season was great for. Yeah. So,
I guess to pick a side, did she? Basically,
I think it wasn't between like me or them. It was just that she already knew they didn't like me. So I remember at the cocktail party, I met everyone and I could feel that, you know, I always just feel that I have this intimidating thing with me that I don't mean to do, but it's just kind of a cover. It's I'm scared of you guys and I don't want anyone to know. I'm just going to come in so confident. Yes. But really I'm shitting bricks, right?
Which is most confident women.
Yeah. So I remember then at the first dinner party, we have a cocktail party before going in and Lyndall came and sat to me and she said, Mel, I'm just going to be honest with you. I've gotten to know you a little more. I actually really like you. And I'm going to be honest, when I first met you at the hens party, I didn't give you any time of day because I looked at you and went, we've got nothing in common. So right off that bat, it starts to like validate what's kind of in my head, that they instantly think, oh, she gets her, hair done, nails done, looks after herself, has confidence. Oh, she must think she's so good.
Isn't that incredible that we do that as women?
Yeah. And you always, it's so funny because I grew up with 3 brothers. I've had mostly guy friends my whole life. I have more of a masculine energy. I'm quite scared of, a big group of females.
Yeah.
And it's because I know they do that.
Yeah. Yeah. And the funny thing is, Mel, that I used to be one of those women back in the day, like when it was so, and when I realised what was happening and that I was programmed to do that because if we, I guess, society and the patriarch, as I hate it, but if they can pitch us against each other, it means that we won't take over the world. That's the bottom line. If we are pitted against each other and we are infighting, then the guys just swan around looking really cool, really casual, really relaxed and run a company. And, that's because women are so emotional and they're just so, hysterical because, look at the way they treat each other. It's like you've made us like that. Like we are brought up like that. No wonder you prefer the company of male friends and, but what I want to say is that it really infuriates me because I used to be that woman that would see a really gorgeous woman and assume immediately that she must be a mole. Like she must be up herself. And it's funny because since I've had a lot of therapy and I've read so much and I've done so much work on, researching women and the sisterhood, that I realised what I was doing and how awful it was, and that immediately I'm the warmest person to anyone on purpose. So I'm like, let's get that out of them straight away because everyone is nervous when they walk into a room. Every single person.
It's a human thing.
It's a human thing and we all do it. Why would we think that we can do it but someone else is not doing it, that they're just going to have this, confidence that is not really there? Like no one has that. No one has that.
It's so interesting as well. Everyone's got a story. And I really do believe that unless you know someone's story, you can't really judge, because if you were to go back, fast forward, 10 years ago and really look at me, it's a whole different person. Why am I this person now that you look at and think, oh, she's so put together, she's got this going on? It's because back 10 years ago, in this world that is so critical, judgmental, nasty, I went through this stage of I'm not beautiful. I don't have this. So, you start to either look into procedures or you start to dye your hair. You start to, even chicken fillets, all of it. Yeah. So if you went back and you spoke to my brothers who knew me, my friends who knew me, my mom, and it was has Mel always, presented herself in this way, or has she always thought she was, this amazing person? Yeah. The answer is no. I was the most insecure person that you would ever meet. And I was bullied so bad in school and told I was ugly so much from all the guys and the girls that I thought I had to look a type of way, be better. I was super skinny. I had a lot of insecurity issues. When I look back, it's very sad. But now I'm proud of who I am. And it's even though when I get to this place that I thought I wanted to be back there, just in this different power, it's that's still not enough, because it's a double-ended sword. It's what do I do? What do you want me to do? Do you want me to be insecure and then you call me ugly, or do you want me to put some effort into myself, feel good about myself, and then you tell me I'm too, I'm up myself? Yeah.
You can't win. And it is a work in progress, isn't it? Because even though you get to this point 10 years on, you have now realised that dichotomy, you're either this or you're that. So then you realise, well, it's really about what I think of myself and what, the people I love and trust think about me. And I think that going on a show like MAFS helps in that way, because it really points out how little complete strangers matter. I always say to anyone that asks, why do you not read the comments? And I'm like, because I honestly, what they think about me is none of my business. And I truly believe it. But I'm 50. If I was 30, I wouldn't be believing it. It's a work in progress. And to have, I see you've got so much of what, like I used to do lashes. I don't come from an era of fillers, but I definitely always used to tan myself, have clip-ins, my hair and all of this thing. I call them armour.
Yeah, they are.
It's what you put to keep yourself from showing who you really are to people because then they can attack and it doesn't really matter. But it does because like you said, it seeps in. But that armour is there and you think if I get to this point, then I won't care. But you get to that point and you still care.
You do. You've got to some way, but you've got to – you care, but you care in a different way.
And you start to learn new things.
I just need to clear up some things that got sent in about the Logies.
Sure. Yes, please.
On the table, when you walked into the Logie table, our names were on the table.
Yes.
So when I sat at the head of the table, that's where my name was.
Yeah, well, your name was. Yeah, I can attest to that because your name is where you have to sit where your name is.
Thank you. So already trying to they knew that, so already those stories are nasty. The other thing is that I left before the mains came out. I left after dessert. I'm not leaving my food. I had all of that,
Good woman, yes. Yeah, that was some really nice 5-star food. No one's leaving before the desserts.
Yeah, so crazy. But just those little things hopefully make people realise that fabrication happens in the media and it's not always from the reporter or the person doing it. It's generally the stories that go in that try and make this narrative in favour of them.
Yes.
So that's all I want to say and comment on that.
Oh, well, thank you for clearing that up. And as far as turning up, we know that you didn't turn up late and you didn't say hello to anyone. Was that true that you didn't say hello because they don't like you?
So when I was a little nervous walking in, I didn't expect everyone to be huddled in the corner. I expected everyone to be everywhere. But when I walked in, I only saw Tani over here and I saw the group here. And as soon as I walked in, I saw them look and I saw them turn.
Oh, that's an awful feeling.
And then they said because
We've
I
all
walked
had that happen to us.
Yeah, and because I walked in, apparently I was expected to go up to them, to these group of girls huddled that just ignored me, that I don't clicked with.
Yes.
But I was expected to be this confident armoured girl and walk up and be like, hi, guys, I know you don't like me. Hi, how was your night?
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. I'm scared. I'm by myself. You guys just looked at me and turned. I'm awkward.
God, it's like being at school.
It took me back to that and that wasn't a nice time. So
no. Thank you so much for clearing that up because that's exactly what I kind of thought was happening. I just know that, when you've got a clique of girls that are pitted against each other, which that show does very, very well, that can spill over and it has spilt over. And
and with that thing as well that you see, Claire say on the red carpet, or I'm not sure actually where she said it, but she said that I didn't want to be associated with her because I thought she was going to have a villain edit.
Yeah, that bit.
Yeah, so I didn't click with Claire right from the beginning because I didn't align with Claire and certain things she did and said that, you're not going to see on the show because we don't have all the time for that. But other people saw it as well, and when it came to that part, we were sitting down in, the supervisor room on the same level and we were watching, I think it was a footy gathering or something, and Claire turned around to me and she said, do you think because I cheated I'm going to be the villain? Surely not, right? Because I was sorry. And that's when I went, yeah, babe, probably.
Yeah.
If you cheat on MAFS, you're probably the villain in some way. And everyone laughed because it was kind of that moment of she's like, but am I? But could I save it? Did I save it? And I'm like, in my books, it's probably not savable.
Yeah.
But they're my morals. So it was kind of, I don't really align. And I guess from that, it went to that. But then I'm thinking, hang on, the actual biggest villain of the show, of the females, was portrayed as Alyssa. Now, I'm very good friends with Alyssa and I battered for her. I didn't care what people said or came at me in the messages when I put Alyssa in my stories, you know, and did the hashtag free Alyssa, kind of stuff. And I'm thinking, wait, but if that's true what Claire's saying, it doesn't make sense again because it doesn't add up. Why would I?
Because you aligned with the villain.
And supported what I thought was right.
And what I found really weird is it was months and months and months later, she's finally just said it. Oh, and I recall on the shows, it's like, you've been holding on to that one. Where did that come from? Where did that come from? That's why I was thinking,
actually got
a couple of wines, make people, and you're walking down the red carpet and everyone's calling your name and everyone wants to have a chat with you and you're just like, oh, you believe your own bullshit all of a sudden. So she's just like, I'm doing a story and I'm going to say it. No one can say anything because it's out there.
Yes.
And all it is a seed. You just have to put it out there and you've got a shitload of people believing it.
Yeah. This is probably not aired before, but I got this message from Sandy who was involved in all of this. I think she just kind of got swept up in it all, right, and started to believe it all. And I really clicked with Sandy during the experiment and I had a lot of time for Sandy. I really thought she was this amazing, woman. And anyway, so I reached out to her because I was so shocked and I just thought, have I done something? I'm so confused. What's happened here? I really thought we weren't like this. Yeah. And she's come back quite on the defense to say what's been submitted, what she has believed or been made to believe. And then it came out that she said, can I be honest with you? I saw that you sent your feather sisters to a few of the girls and you didn't send it to me or any of the other girls. So I find that really rude. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't ask people to do that. It makes me feel very awkward. Janelle was the person she was referring to and she saw one of my stories that was promoting my brow pen being used and she commented and said, Mel, I am about to buy your pen and I cannot wait. I'm so excited. And I said, don't you dare. I'm going to send it to you, right? I'm good friends with Janelle. So I sent it to her and then she's gone and posted it. Same thing happened with Melissa and Melissa's gone to post it, and then the other girls have looked at that and gone, wow, Mel's singling us out. She's not sending us stuff. And I just thought, this is so crazy. I thought I was being a nice person by not being that person that's like, hey, can I use you? Can you do this?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And then when I said that to her, she responded with, well, now I find that even more offensive that you think I would think it's rude. And I'm like, I can't win here. Yeah. It's just getting a little bit too high school for me. Yeah. And to hear things like that, it blew my mind and I kind of how deep does this go and where does it really start because I can't figure this out.
Oh, God, yes. That's a layered heap of stuff.
It's just, you can't kind of trace the string. How long is the string?
How long is the string? Well, all I care about is the fact that I'm getting some, so sucked in sand. I'm only joking.
If anyone wants some, I'm very approachable. Send me a message,
Yes.
It's okay.
And you know what? It's funny because what you were saying about the influencer thing, you don't want to give it, and as soon as I receive things, people, I know that they're expecting me to.
Yeah.
And so that's a given. So I understand I know a lot of people who make things and they don't send me stuff because they know I'll probably go, how much to put it on my story?
Yeah.
It's
all
a
about,
business at the end of the day. Very different, but yeah, that's why I say it's a layered little story of and people don't understand the influencer life as well. It's a very different lifestyle of business. It's a very different business.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And it's quite a separate thing from you and who you are. Yep. It's kind of think of it like Beyonce when she hops on stage, and then when she's often just doing family life and things like that. It's actually a proper commitment. It's a proper cover. It's everything. And, sometimes Instagram is not reality.
No.
And so at the end of the day, when I meet people on a show and I feel that I'm friends with them, they're not a business transaction. They're my friends.
Yes.
Exactly.
Well, On that note, thank you, everyone. Thank you for listening to this week. I know that you've enjoyed it. And if you have and you haven't already, please rate, review, subscribe, all of the things. Melinda is on. You don't need a shout out because I've seen your following. It's not bad, but that's organic. That comes from your businesses and I love that. Did it come from your business or did MAFS just boost your...
Before I went on the show, I had 150,000 followers.
It's gone up to 600K from the show. Wow, that is incredible.
Crazy. Yeah, I've got like the strongest little army.
Yes, you do.
And the UK.
Yeah. Once it goes to the UK. Yes. And once you do a little bit of, putting a man in their place, you're gonna get a great little following.
I didn't know how that would go actually, but here we are. We're 2023.
Yep.
And we're all for it. So
the world is changing slowly but surely. Thank you, Melinda, again.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome.
Such a good time.